Welcome back, everyone, to Third Street Reactions. I'm Zach.
I'm Shane.
And we are back with Samuraijack. We are now into Season 2. We are on Episode 1.
I can't believe we're in Season 2.
This is the Jump Good episode. Now, I know that ain't the exact title, but sue me.
Okay.
Don't actually sue me. I have nothing to give.
So, last time we had the finale, and we went with Aku basically trying to brainwash these children, but the legend of Samuraijack is spreading. You haven't seen him yet, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of the new Star Wars movies a little bit. So, yeah, and it was just basically, what's his name? Not Aku, but the voice actor.
Mako.
Like, he just got the kind of flex, and the animators got the flex. And, yeah, they put on a show. But kids...
He's a voice talent that you can't get enough of, in my opinion.
Yeah, they always say kids aren't stupid, you know? And in this, they weren't. They knew that he was lying, and Samuraijack was...
In those terms, they don't consider as much as far as... I don't want to say empathy, but lack of a better term. They're not as quite as understanding about...
Yeah.
Everything's a lot plainer to them.
They are. And at the same time... But also, because they see the world how they see it, and they're sometimes hard to fool.
Yes.
So, you know, they know what they've seen, and they know Aku is full poop.
Oh, yeah, it has been that way. Everyone knows. You fear him.
Yeah.
He's the rule of fear.
It's like the Tarkin Doctrine. Have you heard of that?
Bill the Butcher Doctrine is what that is. The spectacle of fear.
He chops a man's head up, he raises it high for everyone to see.
That's right.
Which I do like that. I remember seeing that in high school and thinking, that's what we gotta do with Third Street House. We just slash people's tires. Yeah, no, it was a good one. I'm excited. Like, I understand these are getting better and better, and I just want to jump in. It's like...
Not so fast!
What?
Aku!
Aku!
The angular reach!
Oh, man, it's not nice. Oh!
Poor samurai, till we meet again.
Hate when he turns that thing. And this turkey's gonna be gone. Okay, thank God. Dude, how ninja-like are these big-ass giants? Oh, does he feel bad?
Sorry.
I have never seen man fly.
I know fly. Jump good.
Sounds like Stitch.
Yeah, it does. A little bit.
Ugh.
How far he jumped?
I can't believe... Yeah.
Can you teach me to jump good?
Tribe show me. I show you tribe. Tribe show you how jump good.
Sounds like Yoda.
A little bit.
Like Clone Wars Yoda.
Jump good. Yeah, yeah.
You are one of these creatures?
No, I'm man.
Then how?
They raised me. They say long
The
ago.
cars
Like, yeah.
Other tribe.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
Well, that's awful.
Old tribe jump good. So I jump good.
Yes.
He talks good, too. I love this world. I just want to visit it.
Where are you going to visit? Under Aku's reign?
Well, not during then.
That's everything you have. What you see is Aku's
Good,
reign now.
good point.
Danger must hide. What?
Yeah. Fucking holes.
Old. Rats, cheek.
We learn to protect and defend.
And they will show me to jump good?
No. I mean, yes.
I thought he was going to show you how to jump great. Kind of a cool looking cat.
Yeah. He brought that thing with him. It was in an evolutionary stage in the tiger.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Other than a stick fight.
That is so cool. I guess that's a way to do it. I feel like its effects would just be temporary.
Yeah, but he's not doing it all the time. You're a big fan of training montages.
I do love a good... I do. Yeah, I do. That's so cool. I love the art, man. You can jump on the air too, huh? That's so cool. He's so happy. They're dead.
I'm a fucking rock on. The one chicken's dead.
That's actually pretty cool too. I wonder if that's really practical. Like Ewoks.
Still hungry? Get more!
Who? Do you know this voice actor?
I don't remember it. I'll have to look it up.
Aku!
Samurai fool! Your efforts are in vain again. Beyond your reach.
You can fly? No. Jump good.
Reaction discussion.
That was just a really, really good one.
The Jump Good episode. That was Jeff Bennett, by the way.
Jeff Bennett.
He's a regular of Tartakovsky's throughout this series.
Okay.
But I don't think you
Would recognize him.
would recognize him. I mean, I think he's even been in some Star Wars shit and some other things. But
I guess it sounds like a Star Wars voice. It makes you think of like Clone Wars Yoda a little bit.
yeah, I can see that.
Actually, it kind of makes you think of, honestly, OT Yoda a little even more. Frank Oz.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I
Maybe he's
mean?
going for that. I don't know. Maybe it inspired him.
Yeah, I always love a Kurosawa Seven Samurai inspired TV show.
You see, I mean, it's natural in this series because he's helping these different
And he's a
groups.
samurai.
And he's a samurai.
Yeah.
Helping these groups fend off, whether it's Aku
Yeah.
or these other tribes, in this instance, the gorillas, the ape men.
So, have you ever seen any of his movies?
Kurosawa?
Yeah.
I've seen, I can't remember the name of it now. I had to watch it for school. It's where the samurai, the Ronin, comes into town and plays both sides of this gang war.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember the name of the fucking movie now. It escapes me. Yajirobe,
That's what it's called?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that. Well, look it up. While he's looking that up, I'm going to say that George, I mean, he's so obsessed with those movies. George Lucas, for those who didn't figure that.
Yeah.
There's actually a scene in Revenge of the Sith where I think it's when Yoda and Obi-Wan...
Yojimbo.
Yojimbo?
Yajirobe.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't know why. Yojimbo is the one I
Yajirobe's
thought.
from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Yojimbo. I saw that.
There's a scene where in Revenge of the Sith where Samurai and Yoda and Obi-Wan, I think they're taking a transport, and basically Obi-Wan was saying, "Is he not to destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force?" And then Mace Windu says, "Unless the prophecy is misread or whatever."
Yeah. I was just watching that earlier.
Yeah.
They're discussing it and he says, it could have been misread, the prophecy could have been, or something like that.
There's a part where Yoda, he kind of does this to his head and puts his hair back. And I guess it's like frame for frame exactly what is done in, I think it's Seven Samurai. Like, he just loves that shot and he just wanted to tribute it. I didn't know that until I saw the movie after I knew George was such a fan of him. And then when I was a little younger, I didn't appreciate it, like in 2004, 2005. And I watched one a couple years ago. Man, it's great. And there's a great PlayStation 4 exclusive game. And what the hell is it called? Oh my god! It's based off a true story of
The Mongolians?
the Mongolians. They wipe out this island. Oh my god!
I didn't think when you were playing it to your house.
Yeah, and there's a Kurosawa mode where you can play black and white.
That'd be very sweet.
And it's, I guess not just black and white. It looks grainy and stuff. Looks like an old movie. I thought that was pretty cool. I prefer to play it with color, but I messed around with it and it's really cool.
Well, obviously there were some Tarzan influences here.
Yeah.
With the ape man.
Yeah, someone getting raised by, apes or raised like a wild child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mowgli.
Yeah. No, that was cool. And
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, just to point out, for anyone that hasn't seen it, Tartakovsky also has a new animated series called Primal. It is, if you are a fan of this series, you will love Primal. I loved it. There's not really any dialogue. There's a little bit towards the end of the series. It's all set in prehistoric times about a caveman or Neanderthal that is... I don't want to give away anything about it.
Yeah.
It's just fucking amazing. And
well, there was like a 10-minute extended preview of the first episode that you showed me, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah. What he deals with it, he deals with 8 men at one point.
Okay,
and you can see that theme throughout. It's really cool. It's fucking great. I'm hoping one day we'll be able to react to it. Maybe when we're done with Samuraijack.
I don't see why not. Yeah,
but it's fantastic.
Yeah, I look forward to that. So I'm wondering. Is there... I guess you're not going to tell me. I feel like in the next episode, it kind of... We don't see the resolution to their fight.
No, it just kind of leaves you.
Yeah.
I mean, it carries on the tradition of older children's cartoons in that respect, because these episodes are almost self-contained.
Yeah.
I mean, some things come back, but you never really readdress a lot of these contained stories.
Yeah.
The overlapping story, the underlying story of him and Aku and trying to get back to his past is there. But
I thought it was so funny how Aku was teasing him.
I know. Oh! You can fly?
Yeah. Oh, jump good.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting. You've seen Holes, right?
Yeah.
And anyone who knows anything about strength training or even tanning, I guess, exposing someone to, I guess, a certain stimuli, an increased workload than what they're used to, and then they adapt a little more so they can handle that, and they can manage that workload, right? And then the thought is, if you expose them to like a huge amount of a huge stimulus, then they will adapt that big as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't really happen that way. It'd be great if it did.
Obviously, there's some suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
There,
No, I like it.
Jumping off of treetops and the small little branches of the treetops.
Have you seen Conan the Barbarian?
With Arnold?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long, long time.
Okay, so he's that big because he's like his whole life he's a slave and he's pushing this wheel.
Yeah.
And that's why he's that big. But it wouldn't work that way. It'd be cool if it did, though.
Well,
I'm a fan of those type of things, though.
Yeah. Well, obviously the ape men and the ape man, the jump good people were peaceful. They're pacifists.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, they probably don't believe in pacifism per se. They want to be able to defend themselves, but they have never had anyone to be able to teach them how.
Yeah.
It just brought with the thought of pacifism and the discussions we've had on the Clone Wars. Pacifists.
It actually made me think of that.
So,
it's not quite the same situation, but
not at all, because they aren't adamantly pacifists.
They just don't.
They're peaceful people.
But I will say,
they're like the Woolies.
Yeah, like the Woolies. Yeah. But like the Mandalorian, there was a 7 Samurai episode in that.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about the Clone Wars. You haven't got there yet, but there was a heavily inspired Kurosawa 7 Samurai episode in that as well. It's like a ripoff, but it's trying to be, and it's really great.
Well, all the defenses that these apes set up really reminded me, before you mentioned it, of the Ewoks in Episode 6 in Star Wars, and between the logs smashing the AT-ST and the Ebola and things like that. You see a lot of the Ewok tactics.
Remember what he's doing? He hits himself in the face.
Yeah.
Man, critics really tore that movie apart when it came out. It's really looked at now as like gold, but back in the day it was not looked at as well. I love it though. Yeah.
The training montage.
Love a good
he was training them with the bamboo poles.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of Kung Fu Panda, which you haven't seen.
No, saw the second or third one or something.
Well, you need to see the first one.
Yeah, I know.
The third one is probably the worst in that series.
Yeah.
And the first one's probably the best. So.
Yeah, it's normally how it goes though.
It's best and then good. Really good.
Yeah.
And then not so good. Even though the third one had J.K. Simmons.
Really?
Yeah, he was the villain.
Couldn't elevate it.
And they could not bring it out from the depths from which it had sank.
I hear you.
So, but the rock training really reminded me of Dragon Ball Z Season 1 on King Kai's planet. When Goku was having to train in 10 times Earth gravity to prepare for the Saiyans arriving.
That was so cool. I forgot about that. And he was chasing...
chasing Bubbles.
Bubbles.
And Gregory.
Yeah. They're so great.
So
he's chasing with that hammer.
Gregory, yeah. Actually, both of them.
Yeah.
Around, so he had to catch Bubbles. And then he had to hit Gregory with the hammer.
Yeah.
So he ends up throwing it around the planet and chasing Gregory around, and then he catches it and knocks him on the head. One
thing I appreciated in this was, unlike some of the other Seven Samurai inspired things I've seen in Star Wars, such as the apes and the ape man, they defended themselves.
Samurai Jack didn't stick around.
Yeah, he left, and they did it all on their own.
That was cool.
So that was cool. That was a nice breath of fresh air.
Him training with the rocks and lifting the rocks really reminded me. There's a Greek legend, which I don't know specifically now. It seems to have been drank away. But is it Atlas that was shoving the rock up the hill continually? So you have him with the rock. It also reminded me of Marciano, Rocky Marciano. Because he would continually train, run in the woods, pick up big fucking rocks, and throw them and shit like that. And heavyweights. Come on, you devil log!
He's like, he's running down the aisle, and then no one hits his head. It's that little British kid at the end.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
I see the next president of the United States. He's from England.
Fantastic movie.
Love that. Oh my gosh.
Buddy! Lars.
Yeah.
Where are you from? Far away.
They say war is hell. You've never been to fat camp. I know you. Because I was you.
I need to watch it again.
It's so good. It's on the Disney Plus, I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
God, it's a classic. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it.
It is so good. I just don't like the message. You could be fat and shit and just be okay and be happy, and it's okay to be fat.
Well, there's a lot of people that continually eat and are continually under this prescription of laughing and growing fat, like Fat Man from
what's
Metal Gear Solid
interesting,
2.
they talk about body positivity, okay? I think you should love who you are, but I don't think being so fat that you're unhealthy and you're more likely to develop diabetes and degenerative diseases. And
I don't want to speak for myself,
Yeah.
and that's the fact that I can't stand it. Like,
being fat? I can't stand myself.
No, I had gained some weight. I never weighed as much as you.
No.
But
Maybe you did.
I didn't. I never weighed. I weighed about 210 in my top.
That's your top?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I weigh more than that.
I know you do. So I've calculated this message in my head. But either way, 210 was too much for me. I cannot.
That's just weird. I put on a lot of muscle and I looked real skinny. I was like 210.
Well, I remember you showed me videos.
Yeah.
And you definitely looked husky. You were definitely strong. Mm-hmm. You're definitely quick.
Well, I'm not talking about last year. I'm not.
I'm talking about in your, let's say your prime, Shane.
I can pull a picture of me right here.
The prime in your former profession.
Yeah.
And the prime in general. But it doesn't matter. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't stand it. I can't stand the idea of it. I went to work on the river, and a lot of those guys had become overweight because all they do is eat when they're off time, and they go out there and they'd do hard work, but it wasn't hustle work per se.
Doesn't burn a lot of calories.
Doesn't burn a lot of calories, but I mean, they got big, they're big, strong fucking guys.
Yeah.
But they also gain a lot of them, anyway, that I could see gain a lot of weight. I'm like, I am not going to be that fucking guy.
Yeah.
So I changed up my entire eating regimen, everything I did, and I lost a ton of fucking weight.
That's good. What do you weigh now? Like 180?
Yeah, I weigh like 180 now. So
that's pretty good.
Out there, I dropped from, I don't know, right around 210 to 170 when I was out there.
Okay. No, I guess what I was trying to say is, I don't know, we're making fun of fat people. I should stop. I'm fat, so I'm allowed. So
I guess I should stop.
I don't think it's good to be unhealthy. You know, people try to talk about body positivity and they celebrate, even on magazine covers, like, oh, hey, we're going to put this fat person on the front of this health magazine because we're talking about body positivity and psychological happiness. But I think when you're that fat, you're much more likely to be unhappy, and you're much more likely to die sooner, and you're much more likely to pass on those children and give them early death sentences.
I think the world is...
Like, if you're fat, your children are more likely to be fat, and they're more likely to die of cancer.
I think the world right now is overreacting to
No, they definitely are.
the shaming and things of the past.
The shaming shame, like Bill Burr said.
Yeah, so you're taking that away because now you think you got to just this blowback, this overreaction, overcorrection. Mm-hmm. You think we got to correct this, so they're going on strong and strong and strong. They're saying you can't. You should be happy, and you should just be happy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, people. You're never going to be completely happy. You might be content with something. I don't know what it is yet because I'm not happy and I'm not content. But this. I don't know. I was watching this show. It's called
I'm
Utopia.
happy, I'm not content.
There's a show called Utopia on
Yeah.
Amazon. I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And it's actually originally a British show, and we Americans, adapted it.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes we do it better, like The Office.
it was a really good, strong first season. It was canceled because of the pandemic, because of the message it was sending, because it's about a pandemic.
Really?
And yes, so they fucking canceled it. And it's John Cusack's in it. And to be honest, I don't know of too many good works that John Cusack is in.
Stand By Me.
Who was he in that?
He plays the brother of the main character.
So he's the older brother?
Yeah, the one who passed away.
Okay.
And his, and
So what, you see him in flashbacks?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, I'm not saying he's a fucking terrible actor. I just
What's
don't,
that
I don't
movie
remember.
called? The End of the World movie.
Yeah.
That movie, baby.
Fuck.
No, it's all
No,
right.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a god-awful actor. I'm saying just there's not that many movies I can think of that are in my...
Samuel Jackson. There's a movie with him and Samuel Jackson. And he plays some guy who goes around and he disproves crazy, weird phenomenon. So it's called Room Something.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty good.
God, it's a fucking miserable movie. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's good, though.
Dry land is not a myth. I've seen it.
I'm saying, yeah, but I thought it was good. I mean, I'm not saying it had to happen in.
Well, there's another movie he was in where he plays a detective inside the serial killer's head that has that's schizophrenic, has multiple personalities.
Okay.
And in this guy's head, he's the version of that guy that's a detective.
Oh.
And he's breaking down, trying to catch who's the serial killer out of all these people there.
So he's trying to kind of, if he does that, then he...
Well, it's kind of like a war inside of himself between his personalities.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that. And I guess that was all right. It had Ray Liotta.
So if he did it, he would kind of conquer his demon.
Well, he wasn't really trying to. The guy was on death row, and they were trying to postpone the execution.
Reprieve it.
Yeah. So anyway, he's in that, and it was all right. Anyway, I'm trying to get to the point here. Utopia, he was good.
Okay. It was canceled.
But it was canceled. So you shot John Cusack in the ass with that one. But
dude.
My original point here that I don't remember anymore.
We're talking about going hard, blowback. I think you might have been talking about we're overreacting.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, he had a line in it where he said human beings, they don't keep going because they want to be happy, or they need to buy the next thing, to do this, do that. You kind of just, because there's a message in that too. Yeah, the mixed message. I wouldn't say that, but other messages. It's multifaceted. Yeah, but about consumerism. Mm-hmm. And things like that, where we all want to buy, and we buy, and we buy, and we consume and take in to make ourselves happy. Yeah, and he said his line basically boiled down is we're living just to see what's next. Yeah. It's because you want to see what's next. And that was a pretty cool line from him and a very cool role from him. Yeah. But the blowback, the overreaction, the overcorrection, I think it's very over the top. And it just gets on my nerves. I'm not saying that there isn't a good message in there somewhere. Oh yeah, I mean, I know they're trying to. It's just like the fat people thing. They don't. I understand. Well, there's a difference. It comes from compassion, just like people who, Well, on the other side of it, there's a difference between what's right or what's healthy and what's cruel. Yeah, and how people are treated. Yeah, I don't think you can be a fucking cruel bastard to these people. Yeah, that are overweight or these things, and maybe some of them actually have disorders where they just can't fucking stop eating. Yeah, or of an overactive thyroid. Well, there you go. Yeah. So it's possible. It's probably me. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. What do I know? I'm not a doctor. So, what's that from again? No, that's from Happy Gilmore. He says, "What do I know? I'm just a doctor." Yeah. But hell with that, I'm going to play. That's what he says. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. I know why they think they need to address it the way they are. Yeah, because they would probably see the world as this bunch of cruel people that are looking down on them and
Yeah, I mean,
shaming them on every turn. But
they would probably rank really high in personality test and compassion.
but for me, myself, I would just be ashamed to be overweight.
I'm ashamed of myself.
Well, there you go.
I get it. Okay.
We talked about him. Well, we didn't talk about this, but him jumping on the vines reminded me again of that bad lip reading episode of Yoda and the flock and the seagulls.
Well, I've seen it once, and I don't remember it.
Swing from a hairy vine. I can be your backpack while you climb. It's like Luke swinging from the vines with Yoda on his back.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. It's fantastic.
Well, actually, I don't even know if I saw that. I think I saw the...
You saw my stick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
I don't got too much else to say. This is a cool fucking episode. The art, everything from the art to the story, to the fact that Tartakovsky can tell these kind of stories, and he can communicate his ideas very effectively across this visual medium without having to say too much. And it's really special.
Well, was a fine example of that. I mean, he's a visual medium storyteller. So you kind of it's almost like a comic book in a sense, where if someone could draw a comic book where there would be no dialogue, and you just follow through the end of the arc.
What I love about it is I feel like children could watch this and really
Be
engaged, but they can also some of these like really good values that this show is trying to like that Jack has, and like in this episode, helping others who are in need. It's communicated really well.
Yeah,
and I really appreciate that personally. I'm always looking for stuff like that, so it's cool.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, or if you're coming back, thanks for coming back. If you like what we do, like and subscribe. Find us on Instagram and Twitter. And if you don't, you won't. That's it.